Madam President.
Senator from Kansas.
Madam President, this week is National Law Enforcement Week. And so we pause here at our nation's capital to honor and remember the men and women who so proudly serve, so bravely serve our communities. I'm grateful for the nearly 8,000 law enforcement officers across the state of Kansas who are fighting to communities safe as we speak here today. I rise to honor these brave men and women in uniform and recognize the sacrifices they and their families make every day to keep us all safe. I've hosted numerous crime and fentanyl roundtables across the state of Kansas, and everywhere I go, the officers tell me they're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with drug trafficking, with human trafficking, fentanyl trafficking, that the crisis is growing, it's exploding. And what they tell me is even if we tripled the amount of officers out of there, they could not arrest themselves out of the situation. They all, to a person, point and say, and ask me, when is the federal government going to shut down our border? So to those officers out there fighting the fight, fighting human trafficking, fighting the fentanyl poisoning, I say thank you, and I get it. I know you're overwhelmed. These officers back home are our first line of defense. They are our families, our children, and our friends' first line of defense in these crises. Now more than ever, it's crucial that we demonstrate our unwavering support for them. We need to assure them that help is on the way, that we need leaders here and an administration that prioritizes law and order. Now, growing up, we were taught to follow the rules. We all respected the law, and we feared the consequences of breaking them. We, as a country, respected our law enforcement officers. And perhaps no one more than myself could appreciate law enforcement, the son of a career police officer, the son of the chief of police. And what I'll always remember about what my dad taught me about law and order is he would apply the law equally. He didn't care what your last name was. He didn't care what side of the railroad tracks you came from. He was going to apply the law equally. I'm honored to celebrate all those who have protected and served our communities, and want to close today by remembering two Kansas officers who lost their lives this past year. Goodland, Kansas Police Chief Frank Hayes Jr. and Fairway, Kansas Police Officer Jonah Oswald. I'm grateful for their service and the ultimate sacrifice they made, keeping their communities safe. And I want to remember their families and let them know that we're thinking of you today, that we've not forgotten you or your loved one, and that we're going to continue to mourn with you. Again, we're grateful for the sacrifices you made and your loved one to keep us all safe. Madam President, I yield back.